What's going on, guys? Welcome to Rants Red Talk, where we cover the topics that you man send me on Twitter. And boy, there's been a few good ones, so we're just gonna run through as many as we can. Appreciate all the comments coming in, appreciate all the interaction. Make sure you hit like on the vid. Let's get into it. Okie doke. First one here from Matt Fuller 5. Are the likes of Pereira and Fred good enough backups, or do we need to invest in another midfielder? In terms of backups, I think they are good enough backups, but here's my thing. I'm looking at our team now and I'm thinking, if we get an injury or if we make a substitution, our team just don't look the same. Like, you look at the front line, if Martial doesn't play, or if Rashford doesn't play, or even if Jesse doesn't play, if we bring in Sanchez or Lukaku, straight away we don't look like the same team. Like, we look weaker, considerably, bruv. Man are bringing on Lukaku, yeah, to see out a game for 20 minutes, and we're looking worse, bruv. Because man's coming in, his work rate's not good, he doesn't hold the ball well. Sanchez looks a shadow of his former self. So, like, the man that we're bringing in for them, like, there's such a golfing class. And I think it's the same with the midfield. If we look at Paul Pogba, if we want to rest man, like, who's going to be the creative shuttle between the midfield and the attack, bruv? Like, when I look at all the players in terms of their attributes, yeah, Herrera can't do that job. Matic definitely can't do that job because he can't pass. Fred is probably the only player that I'm thinking, you know what, he covers ground, he can pass with both feet, he might be able to slide a man through. Andreas could possibly do that, but he's not confident at the moment and he hasn't had enough football, neither has Fred. So when man's looking at the team, I'm thinking, who could do that? Maybe Juan Mata. He could play them passes, some of them, but you don't have the legs. So again, we're losing something. Like, we're always losing something, bruv. Like, we don't have like-for-like replacements in any position. And that's where I think a director of football is paramount. Because really, a team of our caliber, we should really have 2 players for each position, like, and 2 players of a similar ilk, a similar level. You know what I mean? So that we're not really losing that much when one man's not there. So I think Fred and Pereira, like, they're good enough backups for now. But realistically, if we want to challenge, like, if we legit want to challenge like how we used to challenge, we need to be looking at the squad depth that a Man City have, where you have Mahrez on the bench, you have Bernardo Silva on the bench, and you're starting Sterling or Sane, or you're dropping one and then Sane's on the bench, or you can rest Sterling and still play a strong team. Like, we don't have that. We do not have that. Like, if Jesse doesn't play, who do we play on the right? Because Jesse's a squad player at best, innit? Like, if United really want to get to where they want to be, we know that. But out of our front 3, he has to play right now because Lukaku and Sanchez ain't it. So I honestly think that given the current level of the overall squad, Pereira and Thingy are just about good enough backup. But realistically, yeah, to elevate us to the next level, bruv, they're not good enough. Alright, the next one, well, I ain't got your name here, bruv, but it says, should we either sell Sanchez or Lukaku, and invest in 2 wingers to play attacking style, where currently playing using Rashford as the 9, which Martial can also play? Bro, that makes so much sense. I agree. Instead of buying another forward, because we don't need another forward, I keep telling people, like, Martial's a 9, Rashford's a 9. If we say these are our 2 9s, and Martial plays from the left when he plays with Rashford, cool. We need to buy 2 wide players, one that can play on the left, one that can play on the right, that can play in a fluid system, bruv. And then we would have them 2 wide players. We'd have Martial, Rashford, and Jesse. Then we've also got the likes of Chong that can come in and do a job, the likes of Greenwood that can do a job, and Gomez as well. I honestly believe that Lukaku and Sanchez, for the amount of money that these men are on, they're just obstacles to the younger players that we have to come through. I believe that people like Chong and Mason and these men will give us just as much. In the last 15 minutes against Leicester, when we needed to break and we needed to take some pressure off, we would have been better off bringing on fucking Mason Greenwood and saying, you know what, Mason, 15 minutes, run your socks off, son. That run into the channel that Lukaku didn't make, that ended us making us turn the ball over, Mason would have made that run. Even if these men just came on and busted their arse and ran their socks off for 20 minutes, they would give us more than what Lukaku and Sanchez are giving us right now. Do you know what I mean? People can come and say, yeah, but Lukaku scored this tapping or that tapping. But really, them man could have scored those goals, innit? Like, when I look deeper, I see two guys on very high wages that will be very hard to get rid of, that they're not contributing to the team what they should be for how much they cost and how much they're costing us to keep, bruv. Like I said about Sanchez, to be the highest paid player at the club, you need to be having the impact at the club that Paul Pogba's having. You need to be having the impact that Mo Salah has at Liverpool. You need to be having the impact that Aguero makes at Man City. When you're on the big money, the team need to be reliant on you, blood. Lukaku and Sanchez are two players that when we bring in, they take away from the team. Therefore, it doesn't justify their wages. So if we brought in like two wide players, like I'll just throw random names out there, bruv. Like I don't necessarily mean these man, but say you brought in like a Nicolas Pepe and a Sancho or something like that, or whatever. Like any two wide forwards that can play in a interchanging front line. You got them, man. You've also got fuck is his name now? I can't even remember the youth at PSV now, the winger. But we've been linked with a few, man. Even Memphis can play left, right, down the middle. Like, you need a player of that ilk that's comfortable, that can play in all three positions. When you look at Liverpool, if their forward gets injured, if Firmino's injured, they could play Mo Salah down the middle. They could play Mane down the middle. Do you know what I mean? Tottenham play Son down the middle when Harry Kane's not there. We need wide players that can interchange, get into these positions. That's where football's going now. The out-and-out striker that holds the ball up and does all that shit, that's extinct in modern football. You have to be a complete footballer now. So I think pacey, attacking players that can interchange is the way Oli wants to go, the way that we should be going. And I do think that Lukaku's null and void, and so is Sanchez. All right, next one, Anchor MI12. It says, I thought Alexis is the only one who hasn't improved under Oli. How many chances does he deserve, given that he's not as effective as Martial and is also restricting Pogba by getting in his position time and time again? Facts, bro. You watch Alexis Sanchez, yeah, he starts on the left, but then he drifts inside. But because he's coming inside from the left, that's Pogba's domain. That's where Pogba does his dirt, innit? So he does get in Pogba's way. So I just think that he is so surplus, it's unbelievable, because not only does he not add to the team, but he also takes away from other players. And I was saying the same about Lukaku. If you notice, when he plays at the same time as Rashford, he takes away from Rashford, because Rashford wants to make the runs down the middle, and yeah, he wants to run past the back line. And Lukaku just stands in the middle of the fucking pitch with his arms out. So Rashford can't make them runs because he likes to dart in. So I believe both of them take away from the style of football we want to play, and they also hinder the movement and the development of other people, because Pogba and Martial love that little triangle on the left. And if Sanchez is playing, that just doesn't happen, bruv. And Pogba likes to drift onto that flank and interchange with Martial. He'll go out wide and Martial will drift in. When Sanchez is playing, that simply can't happen, bruv. So I agree. Kyle OZ3, it says, would you still take Oli over Poch when you consider the job Poch is actually doing with his depleted squad? And also, why isn't Zidane being mentioned that much these days? I would take Oli over Poch for the simple reason why I think a lot of us United fans, we just wanted to see United football, bruv. That's what we wanted to see. It's not the fact that we weren't winning stuff, because we were winning things, bro. Like, we still won 3 trophies in the last 5 years and we still weren't happy. It wasn't the fact that we just wanted to win shit for the sake of winning shit. We wanted to see progression. We wanted to be entertained. We wanted to see the right philosophy implemented. And I think Ollie's ticking all the boxes. Like, he still needs to show me that he's ruthless enough to chop people like Phil Jones. Like, get rid of them completely. However, when I look at what Ollie's doing right now and the football he's playing, like, I just feel like Tony's just signed a new deal. Man are coming out backing him. Like, is it a risk to sack him? Because what if you sack him and then Certain players are unhappy because they signed because he was going to be in charge. Like, there's loads of things to think. And like the way we're playing now, like, I don't think it will happen. But imagine we sign Poch, yeah, but then Poch likes Lukaku, and then all of a sudden Rashford ain't R9 no more. Like, that sorts out a bit more unrest, and then it's all a bit weird to me. So right now, I wouldn't take Poch over Oli. As I said, in football, Oli's won more stuff. Like, do you know what I mean? Fair enough, it wasn't at a big club or whatever, but at the end of the day, Oli went to a team that hadn't won the championship in fucking... I went to look and they hadn't won it in decades. And he's changed the whole infrastructure of the club and turned them into a winning club. And that's no walk in the park. Like man have to get respect for that. Do you know what I mean? Poch hasn't been at a team where he should have won something apart from Tottenham. Like, I do believe that with the players he's had since he's been there, because he inherited Ericsson, all these men there, like a lot of them men were there. He didn't sign them. So yeah, they're not spending a lot of money, but I still think they've got good enough players to at least have won a League Cup, and they haven't done that. So what's to say that with the squad that he inherits at Manchester United, he's going to do any better than he's doing at Tottenham? Because man for man, we're probably slightly better than Tottenham, but not really, bruv. Our bench is still a bit shit. It's still a bit shit, so is theirs. Do you know what I mean? And when you look at our starting 11 and their starting 11, like, it's very close. Like, I think we are better than them man for man, but I think it's marginal. And as for Zizou, I honestly believe that he was the guy behind the scenes that that Ed Woodward was trying to get in, bruv. I honestly believe that. I think that his name, the size of his name suits the profile of the club. He likes a big name. There's the Adidas link. There's all of that. And I also heard that Zidane didn't want the job in Jan anyway because he wanted to bring in his own people. So I think the fact that Zidane's name's not being mentioned doesn't mean that we're not still talking to him, but I would take Oli from what I'm seeing now, bruv, just because of how we're playing. And I'd love to see how we played if Oli was given the money to buy better players, bruv. So with that in mind, I'll still take Oli. What if Oli got the job and the board don't back him in the summer? That's Crumby 164. I don't think that that's a possibility. I honestly don't think that can happen, for the simple fact that the board have backed every manager they've got. Like, on a level, yeah, I'm not happy with this board. I'm not happy with the Glazers. I'm not. But one thing, like, I will not do is I'm not going to make up this agenda, innit? Like, the board backed every single manager that came in here. Like, hands down. The only time they haven't backed the manager is when fucking Snoreen was taking a piss and he bought 2 centre-backs and he wanted a third. They said no, because you should have bought better in the first place. He bought 2 centre-backs and he wasn't playing either of them. Again, that's his fault. He wanted to get rid of Martial, bring in Willian and Perisic. Ed Woodward said no, which was a good decision. He wanted, well, boy, David Gea nearly left under LVG. Ed Woodward said no, good decision. Do you know what I mean? Mourinho wanted to get rid of Pogba. Woodward said no, good decision. But other than that, Moyes wanted Fellaini, he got Fellaini. He wanted fucking Leighton Baines as well. Everton didn't want to sell them both. He wanted Juan Mata in January, he got Juan Mata. LVG got everyone he wanted. He spent over £200 million. Snoreen spent over £400 million. So all these men were backed, innit? And when man say, oh, but he wasn't backed like City were backed, we didn't spend that much less than City, bro. He was backed monetarily the same way City were backed. The only difference is they got a director of football that were getting them good deals. Mahrez is their record signing on £60 million, bruv. We spent 75 on Lukaku, bruv. So it's not that the managers weren't backed. It's just that the infrastructure wasn't really in place for us to get the best deals for the money we spent. Our director of football will sort that. So if we get the DOF in, I think Oli will be equipped, yeah, with the DOF, the money to spend, and I believe he will buy the right kind of players for the football that he wants us to play. And I think with a pre-season, he'll have the players fit enough to play the intensity that he wants to play at. And I think we're going to be cool. So, overall, I think that the board will back the manager because they always do. Like, I'm up for all these criticisms of the board, but saying that they don't back our manager, like I can't get behind that. Alright guys, and that was your Rants Red talk for today. Loving the comments, bruv. Like, so many coming in, interactions nuts. The comment section's lit, bruv. You know I'm always down there. I reply to you when I can, usually within a day. So if you do leave a comment, you can always check back to see if I replied. I don't know if you get notifications, bruv, because I don't really comment on YouTube videos, so I don't really know how it works. But I appreciate it. Let me know what you think about the questions asked and obviously my opinions on them. What would you do with Alexis and Lukaku? Would you keep them both? Would you get rid of one? Would you get rid of both of them and give the youngsters a chance while also bringing in a few more versatile attacking younger players as well? Yeah, and what's the conundrum between Oli, Poch and Zidane? Right now, who would you go for? Like, sentiment aside, innit? Because some people might want to see more from Oli. Obviously, everyone's opinion's valid. Everyone's opinion, yeah, comes from a different angle. Me personally, as a football fan, first and foremost, I want to enjoy watching football, yeah? That's what I want to do. That's why I wanted Snoring out, bruv. I was on that bus early, innit? Like, winning's cool, but I believe if Manchester United play the way they're meant to play, the winning comes with the football. I'm not of this notion where people were like, oh, what's more important, winning or playing good football? Like, say you can't win playing good football, blood. What have Barcelona done? Like, for my whole existence on planet Earth, they've won playing good football. Bayern Munich always win playing good football. Do you know what I mean? Juventus are winning now playing good football. PSG are winning by playing good football. Liverpool are winning now playing good football. City are winning now playing good football. When Klopp had Dortmund, them men were winning playing good football. I'm not trying to hear that there has to be a trade-off between playing good football and winning shit, because there does not. So let me know in the comments what you lot are saying. And big up, make sure you like the vid, share the vid, keep them comments coming in, bruv. I'm loving putting out this regular content for you. I know you lot appreciating it, and to be honest, as long as you keep interacting with it, it's going to keep coming. Make sure you add up the socials at Rants and Bants on Twitter for all your trolling needs, at Rants and Bants on Instagram. Make sure you hit that sub button if you ain't done it already. And also, the Flex and Rant show is out tomorrow at 1 o'clock on the United Stand as usual. It's every Tuesday. We answered a few of your questions in there as well. And I look forward to catching you lot in a bit. I'm gone.